Hey, what's going on, my guys? Day 4 of my SR journey. Um, so some people have tuned in to watch my videos, some females, and I know this might not really pertain to you, but that's okay. I still would love your support. I still would love you guys to check in on me and give me all your feedback. I know that this is mostly for guys though, okay? So like, but again, women do struggle with this as well, with the corn word. And excuse my dog. um, he um, he has to be nosy. But anyways, I know that this mostly doesn't pertain to women, but I do want you to know that I do love your support, and if you want to join me on this journey, you can as well, because it is very prominent among everybody. It's getting very, very difficult, even for women as well. And maybe they don't see it as a problem like us men do. Um, from what I understand, it does a little bit something different to our brains, but it could, I think it does the same amount of damage to both, and obviously it skews our views on relationships, right? Um, I would say that especially with like, OnlyFans running rampant right now, women are just starting to see guys as dollar signs. Like, basically just give me your money. Give me your money. That's all I want from us, right? Just give us your money. So I think that they need to change as well, as far as like understanding that, porn, corn is not something that is good for them or for us, right? It needs to stop with that as well. I know I'm kind of beating that like a dead horse, but you know what? I'm gonna say it every single time. Every single time, every single video, it needs to stop because it's getting really, really bad. Um, I would just like to read you guys some of these Bible verses that kind of really hone in on sexual immorality. And the first one is from 1 Corinthians 6:18. Flee immorality. Every other sin that a man commits is outside the body, but the immoral man sins against his own body. Right? The greatest sin that you can commit is towards your own body. Your body is not even your body. Your body, you need to treat your body like a temple, right? So that means what you consume through your eyes and your ears are the most important thing. What the eyes see and what the ears hear is what goes straight to your heart. So if you're putting poison into your body through your eyes, through your ears, through your mouth, that's going to affect your soul, right? That's really going to affect your soul. So I'm going to start trying to throw more Bible verses in there. I know this is called Blessed Patriots, so I am going to start throwing in some Bible verses. I am going to start throwing in some, patriotic stuff. I know that some people thought that, maybe who tuned in, and even a couple of my friends have also tuned in and said that, hey, I thought you were going to kind of talk about what was going on with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. That's a tragedy, and I bawled my eyes out. I don't know about you guys, but it was very, very sad to me to see such a wonderful Christian man, be taken from us and left behind a wife and 2 children. That is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. And of course, people are like, why aren't you talking about the Democratic lawmakers that lost their life? Well, in my opinion, the reason why they're not talking about them is because they were only known to Minnesota. They weren't really like as popular, as controversial as Charlie Kirk. So I think that is the biggest reason why I think that is. I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you think. Again, I don't care if you attack me on some of these levels. If you don't, great. If you do, great. I don't really care. I'm gonna speak my mind, and I'm gonna say whatever's on my mind. All right. But back to day 4. Day 4 for me. Everything is going great. I focused heavily on work today. I focused heavily on working out today. Did some reading. Did some shopping. Just keeping myself busy. Keep myself out of the house. That's sometimes the hardest thing too. Is if you isolate, you're going to get tempted, right? You know, you're at home, you're like, well, my phone's right here, my computer's right here, whatever your, pick your poison, right? Excuse me. Yeah. So whatever devices you use, you're home alone, you're isolated, you're like, why not? You know, like, so you got to stay busy. You got to stay out of your house, stay away from the areas where you feel tempted the most, right? You know, a lot of people have turned their bedrooms into pretty much a place where they do everything but sleep, right? Play video games, do work, watch TV. Right now, with my living situation, that's how it is for me as well. I hope to move to a different spot where I will no longer have any devices in my room. But right now, in my living situation, I have a ton of roommates. It's not really something that you need to concern yourself with. But with that being said, I do hope to move to a spot where I no longer have devices in my room at all. No computers, no phones, no TVs. Your room is supposed to be for sleep only. And that's why a lot of people get anxious, they get tempted, they get bored, so they tap that screen and sin. Flee from immorality. Number one, flee from immorality. Jesus said himself, the greatest sin that a man can commit is against his own body. So I would say that flee from everything. If it's causing you to sin, cast it from yourself. So obviously that's, we're not supposed to cut off our hands or gouge out our eyes, but you should get rid of it if it causes you to sin. That is the biggest thing. I know for some people that's very drastic. Getting rid of televisions, getting rid of phones. Sometimes people use that stuff for work, right? I use a computer, I use a phone for work, so I can't really get rid of all of my devices. But if I could, I would. Believe me, I would get rid of all of it. I'm considering even getting rid of my televisions and video gaming devices just to get rid of them and no longer have them anymore. They don't do me any good. All they do is tempt me, keep me not focused and off my track, right? Put me off track. So, but anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed. I want you to like, comment, and share this with anybody that could benefit from this. If I can help you in any way, I will. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, all right? Stay blessed, okay?